The youngest player to win the Houston Open was 1984 winner Corey Pavin, who was 24 years, 4 months, and 13 days old. He was 6 days younger than the 1971 winner Hubert Green. The oldest player to win Houston's PGA Tour event, 1977 winner Gene Littler, who was 46 years old and 9 months. Well, in case you missed it, there's a new rule in golf, and many of the clubs you might have in your bag could be illegal soon. The United States Golf Association changed the ruling regarding the dimensions and grooves from the 5-iron through the wedges. Basically now there will be less spin on the golf ball, making shots out of the rough more difficult, to stress the importance of driving accuracy. The rule applies immediately to tour players, but for the rest of us, we can continue using clubs that were manufactured throughout this year. By 2024, everyone will be playing with the new grooves. For the tour players, though, the rule change doesn't make much sense.
Well, they made the grooves, they were boxed grooves, kind of like this, and now they made them V grooves, so there's not as much volume of groove. So your ball goes in there, it doesn't cling to the club face, so it doesn't spin, doesn't create as much friction. So, I mean, it's kind of a brilliant rule. It's the only game I know of that it's declining in participation, yet they make it harder. It's an interesting way to grow the game, to make it harder for everybody else, but unfortunately we don't make our own rules on the tour.
The HGA and Redstone have not only been major parts of the SHO Houston Open, but they have also been key in the development of the First Tee of Greater Houston program, which teaches children in kindergarten through 5th grade the fundamentals of golf. The program's original campus is located at Redstone, but just recently, First Tee of Greater Houston unveiled its new campus at the Houston Oaks Golf Club. The program, which includes 8 area school districts, reached nearly 61,000 students just last year alone, more than any other chapter in the world. Well, like any good craftsman, the professional golfers also carry around the tools of the trade on the golf course. Clubs, tees, balls, and gloves, of course, part of that package. But what else is in a PGA Tour bag? Winston Dutchin went snooping around to find out.
To understand why a PGA Tour bag dwarfs that of a weekend hacker's, it's helpful to imagine it as a suitcase for a business trip. During a 5-hour round, the player and caddy are marooned in the middle of a golf course, so
we've got everything, just if you need it, you got to have it.
What it is can be all-encompassing. First and foremost, the necessities.
Blister repair, you gotta have blister repair.
This pocket here is just for all of his little stuff, some tape, aspirin, other little things that we may need.
Rain gear, beanies, the cover, another rain jacket, a laser, a chalk line, make sure those putts are all straight. This is the little putting tool that we'll sometimes use. And
then it becomes a matter of personal preference.
I have gum though.
Some snacks that we'll go through during the round. Occasionally I'll have some Pepsis in there.
We've got our chewing tobacco, which it's a necessity for us out here on the course.
Lest we forget, there's always the occasional superstition.
But everybody kind of, I think, has, either their lucky coins are in there, sometimes a lucky dollar bill. We fortunately ripped ours up a couple weeks ago. We figured it wasn't that lucky.
The average golf bag weighs about 40 pounds, which actually isn't too bad considering everything that you got going in there. These guys got to be in pretty amazing shape to carry this around all day, every day. But some days, it feels heavier than others.
On a rainy day, you'll see 2 or 3 or 4 extra towels in the bag, plus his rain gear, my rain gear, and that's when it gets really interesting. You almost hope for it to be raining. You'd almost rather it be raining so that you're wearing it all and not carrying it all.
Like most caddies on the PGA Tour, AJ Ethorn is a former player. Unlike most caddies, she's a woman and played on the LPGA Tour. Complaining about lugging the bag is not her bag.
There are not too many females out here. I gotta keep my mouth shut. If it's heavy, just bear it and deal with it.
Once the tournament begins, players aren't allowed to carry more than 14 clubs, which makes the bag significantly lighter. If the weather cooperates and no rain gear is needed, it's practically a walk in the park. But more often than not, it's mind over matter. If you don't mind, then it doesn't matter.
Like I tell Pro, it's perfect. As long as birdies are going in, it's real light. We don't have to worry about the weight.
As we continue to tell you about some of the core charities that benefit from the Shell Houston Open, we'd like to introduce you to the Acres Home Youth Association. This is a nonprofit organization that was created to bring youth development programs to the Acres Home community for school-age boys and girls alike. The organization provides after-school and summer-based programs which promote academic achievement, sportsmanship, social development, and self-discipline. It has been an HGA core charity since 2004. There's still a lot more to come. It's become one of the top social networking websites. And now you can get free golf equipment on Twitter. We've got the details coming up for you. And we'll take a look at the solitary life on the driving range. That's next when Local 2's Shell Houston Open Preview Special continues.